I wanted to talk a little bit about like making that first sale, that very first sale. It can be nerve-wracking for a lot of people. It was for me. And I know there's tons of advice out there already, but I wanted to kind of like run through a couple of scenarios that you could capitalize on to make that first sale come earlier.
So difficult to do with one hand.
2 more weeks left of potentially 2 more weeks left of quarantine. How's your quarantine going? As long as there's tea, we can get through this. Not just tea and dogs. Tea and dogs for these weirdos. I wanted to talk a little bit about like making that first sale, that very first sale. It can be nerve-wracking for a lot of people. It was for me. And I know there's tons of advice out there already, but I wanted to kind of like run through a couple of scenarios that you could capitalize on to make that first sale come earlier. And the reason why this is super important is because it basically just comes down to knowing what the customer wants, delivering it for them, and making that first sale. There's normally a couple of scenarios that, like, not just for your first sale, but for many sales where you need to react in a different way. You need to do certain things differently. And many people think there's only one scenario. Someone goes to your beat store, they add a beat to their cart, they just buy the beat then and there. You don't have to do any contact at all. You don't have to do anything. That is normal. Like, you know, when you get those sales, it's amazing because you've essentially done nothing except for upload a beat to get that sale. You know, obviously you've got the branding side of things, and if you're consistent with your uploads, blah blah blah. But like that's the best case scenario, and that's what a lot of people give advice for in terms of like selling your first beat. But realistically, there's complications. Had this, someone's like, I'm going to buy the beat in a few days when I get paid. Something always seems to come up. So I'm going to run through a couple of scenarios, and the best thing you can do that's in your control to, you know, bring that first sale in and bring, you know, many more sales in to come. Now, like I said, first and best scenario is if they just buy the beat then and there. You send them a beat and they buy it. Easy peasy. Now, another situation that I've had is that they've said, you know, I like this beat goes hard, and then that tends to be the end of the conversation. I'm just like, yeah, okay. Normally the best thing to do is just, you know, just keep conversation going, just say, you know, like, let's get you on this one, I can sort you out a discount, I can sort you out a bulk deal for several beats. But the key here is just to be super accommodating. So kind of, you don't want to be like too pushy and just say like, buy the beat. You just want to say something along the lines of like, you know, there's a free download if you want to just work with a tagged beat, or, you know, or there's the lease option. Now the reason why like I've got good results from this is because you're effectively just giving them two options. Either they want a free download or they just buy the beat. It cuts out any like, you know, miscommunication, so you can just tell them like, you know, there's a free download, use it for non-profit. If not, if you want to use it on an EP or like an album or release it on Spotify or something like that, then you have to copy these. And yeah, it just saves a lot of time for you. It saves you having to get nervous and have to stress about them actually buying it. You know that they're going to either work with a free beat, because you know some people just want to work with free beats at the moment in that stage in their career, or they're, you know, a bit further in their career and they want to start leasing beats and get the paperwork right and start releasing music, you know, commercially. Yeah, that sounds nice. So that's the first scenario. So like that scenario where, you know, they like the beats but they haven't mentioned anything about buying them, you can just say, look, there's these two options. That's normally a good thing to do. So like that's quite a common one. That's probably the most common one where they're interested, but then, you know, they don't really discuss, you know, buying the beat. Another one, and I have this like quite a lot as well, is when they say like, how much do you charge, or how much are exclusives, and then like you tell them the price, and then it kind of, the conversation dies again. There's lots of different corners that you can get backed into where the conversation dies. So the best way to get around that is to just say, this is the price, however I'm happy to work with a budget, and then ask them a question. Say something like, oh, what's your budget at the minute, what are you trying to work on, you know. That way you can get a better idea of what they want. If they want several beats, and they were thinking about doing a proper, you know, doing it legitimately, getting exclusives for a full EP, you can say, look, these are what I normally charge per beat for exclusives, you know, but I really want to work with you. Let's work something out. You know, I can do 5 or 6 beats a lot cheaper, something like that. And the main thing is just to be genuine, get to know what they want as much as possible, and kind of deliver on that. Like that's the key thing to all of this, really. Alright, this is starting to sound pretty dope. I'm just going to get this one finished and get it uploaded as usual. I normally like get the beat mixed, like I'll make the beat, leave it for a while, do other things, and then like come back to it just because I've got like a fresh pair of ears to mix it properly and make it sound like as clean as possible. Back on it with the nostalgia games. Good people, it's a bank holiday today, so having more of a chilled day. Still got work to do, but more of a chilled day. If you're between like 25 and 18, probably get away with that. Splinter Cell, if you know, Splinter Cell is probably one of the best stealth games ever. If you want to be like a spy for a day, just get Splinter Cell and play that for like half an hour and you'll be right there. Sneaking around the outside of a building. You know, you can't expect to just upload beats and for people just to find their way to your website and make sales. You really just have to be super accommodating, you know, just do the little things right and go the extra mile just to kind of like help them out. Really does make a big difference. And I just want to give like a disclaimer, like people know if they want to buy a beat or not. It's not like you have to try and convince them that your beat is worth buying. It's just about making things clear, communicating and just making things clear. That's how you're going to make your first sale. If you are DMing people and just saying, buy the beat, you're literally ordering them to buy a beat, they're not going to do it. If someone came up to you and said, buy this, you're not going to do it. Put the work in, reach out to, you know, as many people as you can, push your name out there, push your brand out there, and then when you get the conversation, when you get those responses of people that are actually interested and they seem quite keen to buy, then you can go into, you know, being super accommodating and just kind of, you know, build a relationship from there. I'm trying to be like as specific as possible because I've watched tons of like tutorials prior to this when I was trying to learn all of this stuff, and all the advice is super generic, and if you don't know where to start, it's not very helpful. So I thought, like, you know, making it super specific, you know, giving you scenarios would, you know, help in some way. But yeah, try those things out and see how you get on with it.
It's time to play with the crazy dog. You could literally do this all day.
This dog is jokes, man. Swear to God. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap up the video, I think.